What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so this is the situation we have right here. This is the new area of interest we have right here. We made a video last night talking about that. Now we have a little bit more information that's going on. They have moved where it's going to cross into the Bay of Campeche. They moved it a little bit more to the east. So with that being said, let's go ahead and read this. 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 5 days, still unchanged, as of 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, August 16th, 2022. A tropical wave currently located over Nicaragua is forecast to move across Central America during the next few days and emerge over the Bay of Campeche, where an area of low pressure could form on Friday. Some gradual development of the system is possible while it moves northwestward over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico through the weekend. Formation chance in the next 2 days, none, 0%. Formation chance in the next 5 days, 20%. It has to cross through Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and into Mexico before it even really can develop at this point. So that's why why they're issuing the chance so low at this point. And if we take a look at the Western Atlantic satellite imagery right here, we can see that area of interest has crossed into Nicaragua, bringing potentially heavy rains to parts of the country right here. We still have 2 days of movement before it enters the Bay of Campeche, and we can start talking about development. But once it gets there, the global sea temperatures there, like if we take a look at them, the Gulf of Mexico sea temperatures, we're looking at 29 to 30 degrees Celsius. That's 84 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And considering how warm that water is, and considering where this moves, if it moves a little bit further to the east where there's weaker wind shear, then it has actually a really good shot of development, in my opinion. And then we have the wind shear right here, which right now isn't that favorable in this part, but that wind shear has gradually been moving to the west and is expected to weaken as time continues to go on. So we'll have to still pay attention to that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the European model over the next few days. This is the 6Z run. Let's go ahead and show you what we're talking about. The European has this thing going off the Bay of Campeche, actually a little bit more to the east than the original NHC model forecast has this going, which if it moves further to the east, it will have a better chance of formation because it will, at this point, A, be over water for longer, and B, it'll be in that weaker wind shear area. So, and also another thing we need to pay attention to is that if it moves further to the east, that could put parts of South Texas in play for this thing to happen. In fact, the European doesn't even rule that out. We have several ensemble runs at tropical storm strength so far, and we have we have 2 to 3 runs that are now keeping this over the Gulf of Mexico and potentially making landfall in the near the Corpus Christi area. So that's a situation we need to look at. If you're anywhere from the Houston area down to Veracruz, you need to pay attention to this as we continue to look through the situation. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the GFS and see what they have to say about this. Let's go to the 6C right here. And this is what we're looking at right here. And this is also another interesting thing. The GFS has this a little bit further to the west than it has been so far. The European has been more accurate this season. Considering that we don't have that far of a distance apart from the European GFS right now, it'll be an interesting thing to go. Because the GFS isn't moving further to the west, having it make landfall somewhere in northeastern Mexico right here. But this is what we have to pay attention to in the long run, of course. We have a tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa. In the next few hours, actually not in the next few hours, in the next 2 days, and then this thing starts potentially developing. We're looking at a lot of scenarios with this one right here, and as it continues to move on, it continues to develop, and we're getting a lot of scenarios already of potential hurricanes developing, and some of them major hurricanes in the case of this scenario we have right here, and some of these are potentially moving into the Caribbean Sea. This one right here, this new run has it making landfall in North Carolina on August 29th, which that would be an interesting sight to behold right there, but we'll have to pay attention to continue to pay attention to that. But this is what I am worried about. This area in the Gulf on September 1st, this is what I am very worried about because until now, we've had like isolated incidents of a GFS producing hurricane development and all of that, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 model runs, ensemble members rather, in the Gulf of Mexico. That's a very interesting situation we're gonna have to take a look at, and according to that path, this thing would basically originate. Right, it would originate over here, it would start to develop, start to organize, it would make landfall somewhere in the Bahamas, have a close pass to both Florida and Cuba, or even make landfall in those areas, and then it crossed into the Gulf, and it puts Louisiana and Texas in play at that point, which we're going to have to pay attention to that as time goes on. The tropics are heating up, and we're starting to see those overlapping ensemble members play out, which if you know anything, we've had isolated amounts before, like I've said, and now we're starting to see that overlapping that we do not want to see when it comes to hurricane development. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps me out, helps you make more videos like these. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather. But with that being said, guys, have a wonderful day. Follow me on Twitter, and stay safe.